This came from a true crime sale, and let's see, Isabel B, hi. Good to see you. You made it back over here.
So what is ClickUp?
Where's the other people? They should have been redirected, Isabel. Don't tell me that. Let me see. I don't want to do another. Kevin's like, oh, you weren't doing another live. Yes, I was. That one that never surfaced anywhere. I was doing a live some freaking where. Yep, somewhere I was. White Angel made it back, and Ruffles made it back. And we've got TikTokers, Facebook and Twitch. Welcome, welcome. We're going to talk about that dentist. Remember that dentist in Colorado that was giving his wife those smoothies and he poisoned her? Horrible death. She died in pain. It was horrendous. He was a Mormon dentist. He was getting stuff. Of course, there was an affair involved and all that, right? And they had many children. Just nuts. Like, get a divorce, buddy. And he had all these like infomercials on about his dentist practice and all this stuff. Let me pull him up here because his defense team quit. Excuse me. So there's going to be delay now in his trial. So this is there he is. Look how that's got that side eye. He just looks shifty, right? He looks shifty. My opinion. So his murder trial has to be postponed because his defense attorney unexpectedly withdrew during the jury selection. And I was, really wanted to see this trial, but Angela Craig, 43-year-old mother of 6, died in March of 2023 from poisoning with cyanide and tetrahydrozoline, substances commonly found in over-the-counter eye drops. The trial had already been postponed. It was scheduled to begin on Thursday. However, on the morning of the trial, the defense team requested to withdraw from the case, citing a professional conflict. The judge granted the defense's request to withdraw under the rule of professional conduct, and Craig opted against representing himself, which caused another delay. Well, I wouldn't represent yourself there. So, according to the arrest affidavit, Dr. Craig flew his orthodontist lover from Austin to Denver while his wife was dying, and they exchanged sexually explicit emails. You'll remember that it was just crazy, and we looked at her practice too and everything. Craig faces charges of first-degree murder and solicitation to commit tampering with physical evidence. He pled not guilty. He allegedly ordered a rush shipment of potassium cyanide even though it was not needed. He also allegedly researched multiple undetectable poisons, and he purchased some. The 18th Judicial District Attorney's Office announced that an appearance of counsel hearing is set for December 16th at 8:30 a.m. Alrighty. Now, JonBenét Ramsey, you remember her untimely death happened around Christmas time in Colorado. It's been a long time, but her dad is saying some stuff right now. He speaks out occasionally from time to time. But JonBenét Ramsey's father said Colorado police overlooked a potential suspect who broke into a home and essayed a child 9 months after his daughter's 1996 murder. John Ramsey is 80 years old now. And he said that a masked intruder broke into a Boulder home and essayed a 12-year-old girl. But then he fled when the girl's mother scared him off. Ramsey alleged that police dismissed that person as a potential suspect, even though the incident occurred 2 miles from where his daughter was murdered just a few months earlier. To me, and I'm quoting him, it could easily have been the same person. So there's going to be, of course, a 3-part docu-series that airs on Netflix on Monday. Yeah, we'll watch it. We'll see what it is, but I don't know, right? 3-part docu-series airing on Netflix Monday. It's not the first time they've done docu-series on this case. They've done it with O.J. Simpson too, but they've done it with JonBenét Ramsey. JonBenét Ramsey was found bludgeoned and strangled in her basement of their Boulder home hours after she was reported missing and a ransom note was discovered at the residence. Her father said that he believes the person who killed his daughter and the suspect who essayed the girl carried out their crimes in a similar manner. So where is this guy? He said, I believe the killer was in the house when we came home and he waited until we went to sleep. Over the years, Ramsey has pressed Boulder police to retest evidence with updated genetic technology to obtain new leads. He also urged the FBI to make child murder a federal crime, allowing the agency to immediately intervene in cases involving children younger than 12. No arrests have been made in the 1996 murder, and JonBenét Ramsey's mother, Patsy Ramsey, died of ovarian cancer in 2006. Anyone with information regarding JonBenét's murder should call or email the Boulder Police at 303-441-1974. So we'll see what the docu-series is on Netflix, Monday. Let's see what else we have here. There's something here on Diddy that's... See, let's get this. Oh, Diddy. If they give him bail, I don't even know. If he gets bail, you will never convince me that he's not. Okay. So a former bodyguard says that P. Diddy sacrificed a bird for good luck before he went to court to hear his verdict in the trial for a 1999 nightclub shooting. Okay, so that's good luck to Diddy, okay? Sacrificing a bird. He's now awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges, but he was acquitted on all charges, including weapons possession and bribery, after the bird incident, which his former security guard, Gene Deal, is in a Hulu documentary about the rapper. Shine. And that was Sean Diddy's sidekick, who was convicted on all charges, sent to prison for 10 years, and then deported to his native Belize. So the former bodyguard, Gene Deal, is in this Hulu documentary, The Honorable Shine, now known as Moses Michael Levi Barrow in Belize. He is the leader of the opposition in that country's House of Representatives, and said that Sean Combs was on his way to court in Manhattan when he stopped off in Central Park to meet a man with a caged bird. When P. Diddy got close to the guy, he just dropped down to his knees, and next thing, smoke just going back and forth around him. And they're thinking it was sage or something like that. The bird man was holding a Bible and told Combs to take the bird from the cage. Puff took a white bird, threw it up in the air, and the bird fell to the ground, boom, like it was a brick. And the, hold on a minute, that was really weird. I just heard something, I just thought it was going to sound like crazy. I just heard like a rustling of, did you guys hear that? I'm not joking around. It actually sounded like a bird when a bird ruffles their feathers, like, I don't know if you've ever had a pet bird or something. That is so weird. Okay, I'm a little bit freaked out now. Puff took the white bird and threw it up in the air. The bird fell to the ground, and it was like a brick. And the security guard was like, "Oh, shite." The bird died. The bird didn't even move. And Sean Puffy Combs just walked away real quick like. Barrow accuses Sean Combs of forcing him to take the fall for the 1999 shooting, and he destroyed my life, although he's doing well in now in Belize. Combs is desperately trying to convince a judge to give him bail. And I swear if this guy gets this bail, he's just whacked. Okay. Now I'm going to go to oh wow. Okay, so we've got some New Hampshire news here. Authorities in New Hampshire have charged 2 Dartmouth students in the death of 20-year-old Wan Zhang, whose body was found in the Connecticut River near campus in July. What is that? Hold on a minute. There's like something really, really crazy wind. Hold on a minute. Wow, that is... I almost thought I heard that freaking freight train sound. Well, my electricity goes out again. Let's see. It says right now windy and 37, but my computer says windy. I wonder if that's something like the bird sound that I heard. Okay, so there's a, let's take a look at a news release from the Hanover Police Department about this. Hope I didn't lose internet because it's taking forever to bring up this press release. You guys still there? Hey, Vicky Morawski. You know, I used to have another Vicky here. That you're not the one that told me about that doll. There was another Vicky. She used to always talk about that doll with the music. She used to always talk about that. Is that you, Vicky? Good to see you. He's intimidating witnesses using other inmates' phone accounts. Yes. I'm glad you say he won't be given a bond, because why is this new judge waiting to make a decision? You know, it just bothers me. I don't know. It just freaks me out. I hope he's not just going to do a fast one and give him bond, because if he does, that is so wrong. Especially with all the rules that he broke. Two of the members of the Beta Alpha Omega fraternity, identified as Matthew Catrambone, we used to know Catrambones, and Samuel Terry, were each charged with a misdemeanor for providing alcohol to a person under 21 during a party on July 6th. They lived in the house above us with that name. I haven't heard it in years. Then they moved, I believe. My sister would know more. Dartmouth's Alpha Phi sorority also has been charged as a corporation for facilitating an underage alcohol party, according to this release. Police said that prior to his death, Jang, who was a member of Beta Alpha Omega, had attended an off-campus party organized by the sorority where he was given alcohol by the fraternity members. Most of the attendees at the party were under the age of 21 and consuming alcoholic beverages. Police say towards the end of the party, several attendees made a spontaneous decision to swim in the river, where Dartmouth has docks for students. There was a heavy rainstorm that hit the area and the partygoers began to leave the river, but Jang, who could not swim, was left behind. Jang's body was recovered in the river by a search and rescue team on July 7th. Police said that following an autopsy, the New Hampshire's chief medical examiner's office determined that Jang's cause of death was drowning. The toxicology report found that he had a blood alcohol level of 0.167 at the time of his death. Dartmouth previously confirmed to People at the time of the incident that it has suspended both Beta Alpha Omega and Alpha Phi. The entire Dartmouth community is grieving over the tragic loss of Wan Jang. The college said in a statement, "Our counseling team has been by the family's side since yesterday, and Dartmouth is providing every possible support it can to Wan's parents, family, and friends." Although police say they've received several anonymous tips claiming that Jang's death was a result of hazing, Hanover Police Chief Charles Dennis said that hazing did not appear to be a factor. A Dartmouth spokesperson said in a statement that the college's Greek organizations have a responsibility to keep its members and other students safe. Dartmouth has long valued the contributions that Greek organizations bring to the student experience when they are operating within their slated values and standards. The spokesperson made that announcement. These organizations, as well as all Dartmouth students and community members, have a responsibility to ensure Dartmouth remains a safe, respectful, equitable, and inclusive community for students, faculty, and staff. Okay, and then let's see, there's another, the spokesperson continued saying, and I quote, "Following the tragic loss of Wan Jang during the summer, Dartmouth immediately suspended both Alpha Phi and Beta Alpha Omega, and an internal investigation was initiated. These suspensions remain in effect pending the results of Dartmouth's internal investigation and conduct process, which is still ongoing." Just looking, oh man, prayers for his family and him, that's sad. The college added that it would not comment on students' individual disciplinary matters because of federal law, but said that it would have increased security presence near its swimming docks, as well as more lighting and signage for swimmers. One Dartmouth student said they hope the school's Greek organizations can make an effort to protect students, and they said, and I quote, "I was here this summer when that whole incident happened. Obviously, it's very tragic. I think the school is doing what they can to mitigate stuff like that in the future. I am part of a Greek organization right now, and I can see firsthand we're making the effort to be better at looking out for each other." Okay. What else we have? Simon. Okay. What is this? Oh, remember the Kansas women that were killed? We've talked about this multiple times. Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly were found dead in a freezer 2 weeks after they disappeared from an Oklahoma road. They were from Kansas, 2 women. They were killed by members of a fringe anti-government group over a child custody dispute, and they died brutal deaths, according to a new report. Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly were found dead in a freezer in Texas County, Oklahoma, in April, nearly 2 weeks after they disappeared, with their car abandoned on a road in Oklahoma. Tiffany Adams, 54, her boyfriend, Tad Burt Cullum, 42, Cole Twombly, 50, Cora Twombly, 44, and Paul Grice were all arrested and charged with murder in connection with the investigation. Butler was 27. Kelly was 39. Both died from blunt force trauma, according to the Oklahoma Office of Chief Medical Examiners, and that report was released late October. Now a full medical examiner's report gives a glimpse into the last moments of the women's lives. Now this is, remember when their car was found and then they said that there was blood evidence like around that wouldn't sustain life, like there was a lot of blood from what was said before. Both Butler and Kelly were stabbed multiple times, each sustaining wounds on or near their heads and faces. During the attack, the women fought to save their lives, and they had several defensive wounds. Butler's fingers had been sliced multiple times as she tried to defend herself. She tried to grab the knife with her bare hands. Butler sustained several sharp wounds to her head, torso, and legs. Kelly was stabbed in the cheek and had sharp force injuries to her jaw and temple. She was stabbed several times and had other sharp force injuries. Owing to a devastating injury to her spine, Kelly lost the ability to move her body below her head and the ability to breathe on her own, adding that her death was very rapid. Both women displayed signs of stun gun injuries to the back of their necks, but the report did not indicate whether those were from an attempt to subdue the women prior to the attacks. All 5 suspects charged in the women's murders were members of an anti-government religious group called God's Misfits, who had all had their individual roles in the murders. Prosecutors have previously alleged the God's Misfits group has denounced the crime. The murders allegedly stemmed from a child custody dispute between Butler and the paternal grandmother of the children. Adams, according to an affidavit previously cited by the Des Moines Register, Fox 25, and WRHN. Wow. That's horrible. Is this about American Idol? Who remembers? I haven't watched American Idol in years. Top 5. He made it to the top 5 of season 19. Caleb Kennedy. Former American Idol contestant Caleb Kennedy has been sentenced to a felony DUI charge nearly 3 years after he struck and killed a South Carolina father. Kennedy's case was scheduled to go to trial, but he pled guilty on Monday to a felony driving under the influence charge resulting in a death. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison and fined $25,100 though his sentence was reduced to 8 years, and his fine to $15,100. Kennedy, 20 years old, must also serve 5 years of probation and attend mental health and substance abuse counseling. This case shows the dangers of vape pens to society, says the lawyer Barry J. Barnett, who prosecuted Kennedy. Kennedy's attorney did not immediately leave a comment. The singer was 17 years old when his Ford pickup truck traveled 175 yards off the road and struck a garage in which 54-year-old Larry Dwayne Paris was working in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Paris was reportedly pronounced dead at the hospital. Hold on a minute. 3 hours after the 12:30 p.m. crash. Let me get this here. Now, this is what he looked like on Idol, and this is the man that he killed. There. Kennedy's defense said his dose of Prozac had been increased shortly before the crash. What? Prozac? What? That's not going to cost you to do that. He was driving under the influence of marijuana and using a vape pen. The Warrens reportedly said Kennedy was on his way to a girlfriend's house at the time of the accident and that Paris was talking on a phone. Wow. A very good person died, and I feel so bad for the Paris family. Caleb's very remorseful, and his heartfelt sympathies are extended to the Paris family. The sentencing starts the healing process for everybody involved in the situation, said Kennedy's attorney, Ryan Beasley. I know that name is not just Mrs. Beasley. He's got no record, and he was a minor when this happened. This wasn't such an egregious act that you see most of the time where people were drinking and driving and they hit somebody at night or going down the wrong way of the road. This was a weird reaction from his prescription medication and possibly THC. Beasley said that Kennedy wants to express his heartfelt sympathies to the Paris family and that he accepts his responsibility for this accident and he hopes for healing for everyone affected by this tragedy. Paris was the founder of the Paris Connect Construction Company and was a member of the New Beginnings Church, according to his obituary. Weeks after his crash, family, including his wife Donna and daughter Kelsey, gave an emotional plea during a virtual court hearing for Kennedy, asking the judge to deny him bond. And I quote, Kelsey said, "I see my daddy laying in his own shop, moaning and groaning with a stranger, not even calling 911. He killed my dad, point blank. I wish I could pay a little bit of money or a lot of money to have my daddy back." Kennedy competed on season 19 of American Idol in 2021 and made it to the top 5. He was booted from the show after a controversial video of him hanging... Oh, I remember this kid. Yeah, I knew he looked familiar. Controversial video of him hanging out with a friend who was wearing a hood similar to the ones worn by the Ku Klux Klan. He later apologized, saying the video displayed actions that were not meant to be taken that way. 3 years of his sentence will be on home detention. He will also receive credit for the nearly 2 years that he has already served which means he will likely serve about a year behind bars. Okay. Oh, wow, this is crazy. I didn't hear this. Harun Abdul Malik Yenner, 30 years old, was detained on Wednesday, November 20th. The Florida resident has been arrested for allegedly planning to plant a bomb in New York City ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Harun Abdul Malik Yenner, 30 years old, from Coral Springs, Florida, was detained and charged with attempting to use an explosive device to damage or destroy a building used in interstate commerce on Wednesday, November 20th. Okay, let's see. Let's get this release. This is crazy. Let's get this release over there. Okay. So, Harun Abdul Malik Yenner, 30 years old, of Coral Springs, Florida, was arrested today based on a criminal complaint charging him with an attempt to use an explosive device to damage or destroy a building used in interstate commerce. Mackenzie LaPointe, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, Matthew G. Olson, Assistant Attorney for the National Security, and Jeffrey Veltri, Special Agent in charge at the FBI Miami Field Office, made the announcement. According to court documents, the FBI initiated an investigation into Yenner in February after receiving a tip that he was storing bomb-making schematics in an unlocked storage unit. The FBI searched the unit and found bomb-making sketches, numerous watches with timers, electronic circuit boards, and other electronics that could be used for constructing explosive devices. The FBI also uncovered multiple internet searches from Yenner's Google account for aspects of bomb making since as early as 2017. In June, Yenner told the FBI confidential source of his desire to join an anti-government militia and to construct an explosive device. After meeting with an FBI undercover employee whom Yenner believed to be part of the militia, Yenner indicated he wanted to target a U.S. business located in New York City the week before Thanksgiving. He stated that his motivation for the bombing of the business was to attain a reboot and a reset of the United States government. Yenner constructed a remote trigger for the explosive device and conducted research on where to plant the bomb. Yenner also tasked FBI undercover employees with procuring the explosive element for the device, conducting surveillance of the business, and obtaining photos of the building to identify the precise location for detonating the explosive device. Yenner planned on wearing a disguise when planting the explosive device outside the business and recorded a message to be delivered to the press about the reasons for the attack. Yenner anticipated the impact of the explosion would be like a small nuke went off, and he said that anything outside the building would be wiped out and anything inside the building, they would be killed. Yenner also had his initial appearance this afternoon and stipulated to pretrial detention with the right to request a hearing at a later date. The FBI investigated the case with assistance from Coral Springs Police Department and the Joint Terrorism Task Force. Assistant U.S. Attorney Michael Thakor and Abby Waxman of the Southern District of Florida, and Trial Attorney Alyssa Poteet of the National Security Division's Counterterrorism section are prosecuting the case. Wow. Crazy, crazy. see here. I think that's about it, guys, for tonight with the true crime. I'm exhausted. I haven't been sleeping well without the heat and everything, and just, you know, up and down to make sure the fire stays lit, and it's crazy. Happy birthday, Video. It's Video's birthday. Happy birthday, Video. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Video. Happy birthday to you. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go take a rest. Love you guys. God bless. Prayers. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.